Hello everyone.
Hello,
It's Maddie and
Madison.
with Spectrum Art, and Madison is going to continue doing her schoolwork while I make this really quick video. I hope it's going to be a really quick one. It is a promised one. If you were with us during the live, some of you girls wanted to know how we got these done and what materials I used. So I promised I would hop on really quick and make a video. So here we are. Now, these are pockets, pocket of drawers, basically. It is these tiny pockets that are just full of ephemera and all kinds of stuff that you can put in there. But it basically looks like a dresser, does it not? And I got the idea to go ahead and use buttons as knobs, or in this case, I went ahead and used brads to make them look like little knobs on there. And again, you can fill them with whatever ephemera you have in your stash. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to go ahead and go over the materials that you'll need in order to make these little cuties. The first thing is you're going to need 3 pieces of cardstock. Perfect opportunity to break out those 6x6 pads. Because that's exactly the sizes that we're going to be needing. So again, 3 pieces of cardstock from either your own paper or your paper collections that you already have in your stash. The first piece you're going to need is going to be a 5 by 3/4 piece, and that is going to be your back. Okay, that's that piece that you see here in the back, which you're going to see once you remove your ephemera pieces right there. So that piece, again, is going to be 5 inches tall by 4 3/4 wide, okay? Then for the front piece, you're going to need a 6x6 piece. And that's what's going to make this front right here. See the red? That's the front, and here it is in pink. So for that, you're going to need a 6x6 piece of paper, which I've decided to do this one in black. I'm thinking that'll probably show a lot easier on camera for you guys. And then to make the drawer covers, these covers right here, and these here are flowers, you're going to need one more piece, and that is going to be a 5x5, okay, piece of paper. Now make sure that when you're cutting all these out that you keep in mind the pattern, right? So do you want it to go this way? Are you going to want it to go that way? Especially if the front flap and the back have any kind of designs on them, okay? In addition to that, you're going to go ahead and need some glue. And let me see if I find my glue, because I was just using it. Here it is. You'll just need some white glue, because we're going to be doing paper on paper. Now, if you're going to be adding laces and other things, you're going to need, of course, some additional adhesives. But right now, we're going to use some white glue. We're going to be distressing around, so make sure that you go ahead and get your inks, whether it's distressing tools or whether it's just regular ink pads. You're going to need a marker. You're going to need some washi. Now this is optional. If you're going to do brads, you're going to need, of course, brads and some washi. It doesn't matter what color, because you won't see it. It's going to be on the back. Or if you do not have washi, you can always use just scrap pieces of paper, right? Okay, so you'll need those. Those are optionals. If you choose not to do that and you want to go with this option, you'll need some buttons, right? So just grab a bag of buttons. And and again, any color or whatever you have, or maybe you guys can think of something else you like to use for the knobs that's already in your stash. It could be some flat bags, some bling, whatever you have. You'll also need, if you're going to use the buttons, you probably want to get a hot glue gun, or maybe some Fabri-Tac or something to that extent, some Eileen's. And finally, you're going to need some ephemera. So in this case, we lucked out, because this collection, of course, if you're not familiar with it, it is the Mon Amour, My Love collection from Graphic 45. And this actually came with elements that we could cut out, such as those right there. So we went ahead and cut them out. And so we have them right here ready to go. And we also use some of this paper. This is actually that paper that you see right here for the back. This just had this paper pad coordinated quite well, and it had more solids that I like to use for the back. So that's what we use that for. And then the final thing you're going to need is going to be the die. Now, let's talk about that die here for a second. I'm going to go ahead and put a link down below to the die that we went ahead and used, which is this one right here. Let me get it for you guys. It is called Stitch Slots Pocket Set from Matty's, M-A-T-T-Y''S. Let me make sure I bring you some light so you guys can really see it, hopefully. And this is what it looks like. We got it from Amazon. Again, I linked it down below. But there are many other different makers. This one was really beautiful. We have the Tim Holtz one. Oh, I didn't get you the Tim Holtz one, did I? No, I did not. But there are some, this one is very similar to the Tim Holtz one. Actually, it's almost the same with the placard and stuff, but this one was larger. And then, of course, there are some really much smaller ones. We have several different sizes, is what I'm trying to say, that you can go ahead and select. So you can go from the very tiny to the very large to in between, which is what we're using now. That's what came in here. These two pieces is what comes in that set. And I'm sure that there are other ones out there. They range anywhere from $10 up to $20, but you could potentially do something similar to it by using an X-Acto knife. You could. I think it'll take some elbow grease and some prep work. It doesn't have to be so very fancy. Let me show you, for example, these, it probably shows best in the pink, are actually, they come with a stitch, with a faux stitch on them. So they have really cute elements, and of course it comes with this. But you could use an X-Acto knife on a piece of paper, right? And cut out your slots, and then maybe use a round circle punch and attempt to do those. I'd love to hear some feedback if some of you do try to make your own. I'd love to hear how that actually worked out. And did it work out? Was it way too much work? We'd love to hear back. So let's go ahead and clean this up, and we will go ahead and get started on making this. So we are done with step one, which was actually cutting out our cardstock. So now we have the front, we have the drawers, and we have got, of course, from previously, we had the back, which was the 5 by 4 3/4. So when we get ready to assemble it, it is going to look something like that. So first thing is we're going to go ahead and bend our little tabs back, and it's really nice because they come I hope that's easier to see because it's in black. But they're already indented and marked for you, so all you have to do is fold them back this way. All right. Now, typically with the other ones, what I did was I went around and distressed here and also here on the insides by doing one of these. However, of course, this is black, so I'm not going to need to distress. Not that, at least. We still need to do these pieces right here. So that's what we're going to do now. Now, in addition to doing the 3 flaps, you do want to do the top of this, because this is going to show not the bottom and not the sides, because they're going to get tucked in there, but the top is going to show, as you can see there. So you do want to go ahead and distress whatever your top is. And again, it'll depend on your pattern, right? If your paper has patterns that face a certain way. So just figure out which is your top and distress that. There's that. And now finally, we're gonna go ahead and use the marker. Now, again, on this one, I won't have to use it, but on the other ones, I did go ahead and go in with the marker just to kill off that, that edge. But on these, all I have to worry about is this one right here and these. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and glue down the drawers. And I love how this just has that stitching on here as well. Isn't that just pretty? Very pretty die. And once again, we're just using regular white glue. It's kind of hard to pick on this paper. Look how beautiful the back of this is too. Just really pretty paper. But Graphic 45 usually has phenomenal paper, so it's always hard to choose, which is why it's really good that they give you plenty of each, right? I think they typically give you 3, if I'm not mistaken. And again, this is why I like the white glue, because I can take a look, I can center it, I can move it around until I feel comfortable. A lot of folks I know like to use ATG guns. Madison uses hers quite a bit. I don't like it because I'm always so afraid that I'm just going to position it wrong and then have to rip it all off. So, but again, that's a preference. Maybe folks have more practice than I do. And when we were live, some of the girls suggested to actually mix and match. So that'd be kind of cool. So let me put this one down and then I'll show you what I mean. Because we were debating which ones to use, again, because the sides are both so pretty, and they were saying maybe you could mix and match, so you can do something to that extent. How pretty is that? Should we do that? Oh, I don't know. That's tough, that's tough, that's tough. Oh, that's a tough one. Let me ask Madison. Madison, this way? I'm sorry to interrupt you, or this way? Mix and match, or keep them all the same? This way, or this way? All the same, or mix and match?
The green side.
This one? Keep them together? Yes. Okay, thank you. All right, the boss has spoken. That was a tough one for me. See, that's why it's good to, excuse me, to have a second opinion. Oops, sorry, didn't want to cough in your guys' ears. Got a tickle in my throat. Okay, so, but you can see how the other way could have totally looked so cute. So when you get your papers and you're playing with them, keep that in mind. Possibilities, right? Okay, as simple as that. Look how pretty that looks already. All right, now, options, right? We could do buttons, which all we would need would be the hot glue, which I do have ready, and it's hot. But for the sake of showing you guys how it's done, obviously buttons are pretty simple. You just grab a button, put the hot glue, and just place it down, right? To show you the one that is a little bit more involved would be the brads. So let's do that together, yes? All right, you're gonna need 3 brads, and I just grabbed these 3 right here. You're gonna need your awl or pokey tool. Pokey tool, right, Madison? Yes. It's gonna get named the pokey tool before we know it. Someone's gonna come up with one that's called the pokey tool, watch. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, of course, know that we're gonna want our brad somewhere here in the middle of this indentation, right here, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and eyeball it and poke away. Gonna go up here again, kind of look at that I'm kind of aligned with the one below. Do it again, and once again. All right, so I've done that 3 times, right? One for each. We're gonna insert the brad. How many of you have seen the brad video that we made? I hope you did. I hope you have. I could link that down below if you guys want to. I guess I should, huh, since I'm mentioning it. But it's a great way to go ahead and make your own brads. So we're gonna insert the prongs. So hopefully if you've already made some, you have some cuties, right? We're gonna flip them over. I should have done that. We're gonna open up the prongs, or what were they called? Leaves, times? You have to watch the video. Oh, wait, I'm doing this wrong. Sorry, guys. It's kind of hard to stay in camera and be able to see at the same time. All right, push them down. And then we'll do our last one. Oh, those look so stinking cute. Adorable, look. Oh my goodness. Love those. Okay, but now we've got to fix our problem, which is if you were to, and by the way, don't throw away any of your scraps because that's how you end up making little tags and whatnots, right, to insert in here. If you were to try and stick something in here, see, this is what would happen, right? We don't want that. So let's go ahead and cover that. Now, again, you have the option. You can either use scrap pieces of paper, and it doesn't even have to be your pretty paper, to glue down. I am going to go ahead and just use a little piece of washi, and it could be any washi. Actually, if you pick your non-favorites, it's probably even better, right? If you have some washis maybe that come in the set and you're not particularly fond of them, this is a great time to go ahead and use them. All right, so let's add, oh yes, I'm adding glue. For those of you who are new here or have not seen enough of our videos, I always encourage everyone to use glue on your washi because washi is not meant, huh?
It can always fall apart.
Yes, it will fall off. It's not meant to be permanent. It is a removable adhesive, which over time just obviously, you know, comes weaker and weaker. And so you want to go ahead and help it out, make it permanent by adding some glue. So now, as you can see, it's not going to catch on anything because we have some washi. So let's do that to all 3 of these. Okay, now, while those are drying a bit, because we don't want to do anything that might actually make it stick to the back, I want to share something as well. So you want to get this, oh, see, wrong way, sorry. You want to get this ready to be adhered. Now, typically, these are left just like this so that you can actually insert large things and then they can kind of go that way. However, since we are going to be making dresser drawers, we are going to be closing them off. So let me get something small and you'll see what I mean. So right now, if I was to go ahead and use one of these and insert that here, it could potentially fall all the way down to the bottom and be kind of a pain to actually fetch out, right? So instead of, see how hard that is? Instead of having that happen, and then you're having to turn your pocket and shake it and oh no. We're gonna go ahead and actually close those drawers and make them into drawers. But before we do that, we are going to go ahead and flip this over and we're gonna go ahead and attach only one side, only the bottom. And that's gonna allow us to actually work without this actually shifting or moving. And again, you want to close it, make sure that it's all looking well. And once you feel comfortable, then press down and give that a second to dry. All right, now we can flip this up, see? And we can work here on the inside. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add a bead of glue. The bottom one doesn't need one because it's already closed here, but we're gonna do one on the middle and one at the top, okay? And that's gonna give us drawers. So a bead right there. See, this was a good idea. You could definitely see the glue on black, huh? So that's good. And a bead right there. And then of course we're gonna go ahead and get ready to close our pocket. So we're going to go ahead and add, let me think, yes. Add our glue right here. That side, and this is on the inside. And then flip it over. Add it on this side. Make sure you get the top. Right, and now we get to close it down, press down, and we'll go and press on the middle as well here in a second. Let's flip it over because that makes it better, easier to see. We're gonna press down on this drawer and on this one as well, so we know that it is adhering. We'll give it a few seconds just to make sure. Keep rubbing it. And that is the extent of it. Now all we have left to do is to go ahead, and of course I'll allow the glue to dry, is to get some cute stuff to go ahead and put into our pockets. Well, this one might be kind of big. Oh, maybe not. Look at that. That's cute. And we can just start having fun and filling it with all the ephemera that we already cut out and all the goodies that we have and whatever else we make, right? Because we could use all of these scraps now to go ahead and make some more elements to go ahead and decorate with. And don't forget, you might even have some of these banners as well. Let me show you, which would be great for labeling your drawers. I mean, look how cute this is. We could totally grab this. Let's find scissor and snip that, and we could actually create labels for our drawers, you know. Look how cute. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you'll try it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below, as well as any comments. Again, what keeps us,
which one's your favorite?
Yeah, let us know which one do you like. And again, remember guys, what keeps us doing this, what keeps us motivated is hearing from you, is your support, because we are not even monetizing the channel, of course. So we've actually removed the commercials for now. We don't know if it's going to be forever, but for now, to just make it easier for you guys to be able to come in and enjoy videos. So please don't forget, thumbs up, leave us a comment, subscribe, share it with some friends and some of your websites and your social media and groups. We would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one. Bye.